The rain started at exactly 1:13 a.m. That was the same time the abandoned black car first appeared again. Cold rain poured across the empty road outside a small town called Black Hollow. Streetlights flickered weakly through the fog, and the old black sedan sat silently near the roadside. Its engine was running, but nobody was inside. At least, that was what people thought. Because 3 seconds later, the headlights slowly turned toward the road, and the car began moving by itself. That was the night people realized the dead Uber driver was still working. Welcome to The Unknown Files X, where real stories, dark mysteries, and hidden truths are told. Nobody in Black Hollow ever forgot the name Daniel Reeves. Daniel was known as the friendliest Uber driver in town. He worked almost every night. People trusted him. Old women requested him. College students felt safe with him. Even drunk passengers said Daniel never lost his temper. But one cold October night, Daniel vanished. His last ride was picked up around midnight near an old gas station outside town. After that, nothing. His phone stopped working, his GPS disappeared, and Daniel was never seen alive again. Police searched for weeks. The only thing they found was his car, abandoned near Willow Creek Road. The driver door was open, the headlights were still on, and strangely, the engine was still running. But Daniel was gone. No blood, no footprints, no signs of struggle. Just an empty car, quietly humming in the darkness. The case became one of the strangest mysteries in Black Hollow. Some people believed Daniel ran away. Others believed he was murdered. But old people in town, they believed Daniel never left that road, because a few weeks later, passengers started reporting something impossible. An Uber car matching Daniel's exact vehicle was still picking people up at night. At first, nobody believed the stories. People thought it was a prank. Until the reports became too similar, every person described the same thing. A black sedan, cold air inside the car, no music playing, and a driver who never spoke. Some passengers said they could barely see his face in the mirror. Others said his eyes looked pale, almost dead. But the strangest part, the rides never appeared inside the Uber app. No booking history, no payment, nothing. It was like the car itself was choosing passengers, and it only appeared after midnight. One man claimed the car picked him up outside a bar during heavy rain. He said the driver wore a dark hoodie and gloves. The entire ride felt wrong. The windows kept fogging up from the inside. The car smelled like wet soil. And when he tried speaking to the driver slowly raised his eyes into the mirror. That was when the passengers saw it. The driver's neck looked broken, bent slightly to one side. The man jumped out of the moving car before reaching home, but nobody believed him, not yet. Because the real horror began months later, when a passenger finally recognized the driver. Her name was Melissa Carter, and her story changed everything. Melissa was a nurse working late shifts at Black Hollow Hospital. One freezing December night, she missed the last bus home. Her phone battery was almost dead. The streets were empty. Then suddenly, a black sedan stopped beside her. The window slowly rolled down. "Need a ride?" The voice sounded low, weak, almost hollow. Melissa hesitated. Then she noticed the Uber sticker on the windshield. She quickly entered the car. The inside felt freezing cold, not normal cold, the kind of cold that crawls under your skin. Melissa pulled her jacket tighter. "Long night?" she asked softly. The driver didn't answer. Streetlights flashed across his face for only seconds at a time. But something about him felt familiar, very familiar. Melissa looked again. Then her stomach dropped. She knew that face. Daniel Reeves, the missing Uber driver, the dead man from the news. Melissa froze completely. She remembered seeing his missing posters all over town months earlier. Same eyes, same beard, same scar near his chin. But Daniel had been missing for almost a year. Melissa slowly looked toward the dashboard. The clock inside the car was blinking strangely. 1:13 a.m. Again. Then she noticed something worse. The back seat was wet, not with water, with mud. Dark, thick mud, like the car had been driven through a graveyard. Melissa's breathing became shaky. Her hands trembled. She reached for the door handle quietly, locked. Daniel still said nothing. The road outside became unfamiliar. Melissa looked through the window nervously. This isn't the way to my house. No answer. The car kept moving deeper into darkness. Then, the radio suddenly turned on by itself. Static filled the car. Then a broken voice whispered through the speakers, "Help me." Melissa's heart nearly stopped. The voice sounded exactly like Daniel. Then another voice came through the radio. A woman crying, then screaming, then silence. Melissa began panicking. "Stop the car!" The driver slowly looked at her through the mirror, and finally, he smiled. But the smile looked wrong. Too wide, too empty, almost inhuman. That was when Melissa noticed his eyes. There were no pupils, only pale white darkness staring back at her. The car suddenly accelerated. Melissa screamed. Trees blurred past the windows. The road became rough, like they were leaving the highway completely. Melissa kicked the door hard. Still locked. Then she noticed something terrifying beside the gear stick, an old photograph. She grabbed it quickly, and her blood ran cold. The photo showed Daniel standing beside a woman and a little girl, but someone had scratched their faces out completely, deep, violent scratches, as if someone hated them. Then suddenly, Melissa remembered something. Months before Daniel vanished, there had been rumors that Daniel discovered something terrible about one of his passengers, something connected to human trafficking. But the story disappeared quickly. People stopped talking about it, almost like someone wanted the truth buried. And then, Daniel vanished. Melissa realized something horrifying. Maybe Daniel was never the villain. Maybe he was the victim. The car slowed near an old forest road. Fog covered everything outside. Then Daniel finally spoke, very softly. They never found her. Melissa felt frozen. "Who?" she whispered. Daniel's hands tightened on the steering wheel. "My daughter." The car stopped completely. Silence filled the darkness. Then Daniel slowly pointed toward the forest. Melissa looked outside and saw a tiny figure standing between the trees. A little girl, motionless, wearing a white dress covered in mud. Melissa felt tears forming in her eyes. The little girl slowly raised one hand, then pointed deeper into the forest. Daniel whispered again. They took them both. Suddenly the headlights shut off. Complete darkness swallowed the car. Melissa heard footsteps outside, slow footsteps, crunching through wet leaves, then voices, men whispering, coming closer. Daniel's face suddenly changed. Fear filled his pale eyes, real fear. And Melissa understood. Whatever killed Daniel was still out there. The car doors suddenly unlocked. Daniel looked directly at her. "Run." Melissa didn't wait. She burst out of the car and ran through the forest blindly. Branches tore across her face. Mud soaked her shoes. Behind her, she heard men shouting, then tires screeching loudly. Then a horrible crash echoed through the night. Melissa kept running until she reached the highway. A truck driver found her shaking and covered in mud around sunrise. Police searched the forest immediately, but they found nothing. No black car, no Daniel, no little girl, nothing. But Melissa gave police one important clue, the photograph. Investigators examined it carefully and finally discovered the hidden truth. The woman in the picture was Daniel's wife, and the little girl was his daughter Emily. Both had disappeared 2 weeks before Daniel vanished. Police believe Daniel spent months secretly searching for them while driving passengers every night. Then he uncovered something terrible, a trafficking operation hidden across nearby states. Some officers were even suspected of helping cover it up. Before Daniel could expose them, he disappeared too. But the deeper police investigated, the stranger things became, because Melissa wasn't the only person seeing the car anymore. Reports started spreading across neighboring towns. Same black sedan, same silent driver, same freezing cold air. The abandoned car was moving again, by itself. One gas station camera even captured footage of the vehicle stopping at exactly 1:13 a.m. A passenger entered the back seat, but when police checked the footage later, there was no driver visible inside the car, only empty darkness behind the wheel. If you enjoy real mysteries and dark stories like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next story might be even darker. Weeks later, police finally located the black sedan again, but not in Black Hollow, not even in the same state. The abandoned car was discovered over 300 miles away, outside an empty motel near Raven Creek. Its engine was still running, its headlights were still on, and muddy footprints surrounded the car. But there was one detail police never explained publicly. Inside the back seat, they found fresh fingerprints, small fingerprints, like a child had been sitting there recently. After that, the story spread even faster. Truck drivers claimed they saw the car following lonely highways after midnight. Some passengers said the driver asked strange questions like, "Have you seen my family?" Others claimed the GPS inside the car showed impossible destinations, places that no longer existed, abandoned homes, burned buildings, empty forests. Then came the final report. A college student named Eric claimed the black sedan picked him up outside a train station during a storm. At first, everything felt normal, until he looked at the driver. Eric recognized him immediately from the missing posters online. Daniel Reeves, dead for over a year. Eric panicked. He secretly opened his phone camera to record the driver, but the moment the flash reflected in the mirror, Daniel's face changed completely. His skin turned gray, his mouth opened unnaturally wide, and his eyes became pure white. The car suddenly stopped in the middle of nowhere. Daniel slowly turned toward him and whispered, "You shouldn't have looked." Eric jumped out before the car fully stopped. He ran into the rain without looking back, but before the black sedan disappeared into the darkness, Eric noticed something chilling. There was a little girl sitting quietly in the back seat now, watching him, smiling. Police searched the area again the next morning. No car, no tracks, nothing. But Eric's phone recording was recovered. Most of the footage was corrupted by static, except for one final frame, a blurry image of Daniel staring directly into the camera, and written across the fogged windshield were 4 terrifying words, "Still looking for them." To this day, drivers across lonely highways still report sightings of the abandoned black sedan, always after midnight, always near empty roads, and always at exactly 1:13 a.m. Some believe Daniel's ghost is searching endlessly for his family. Others believe the car itself became cursed after the murders. But one thing still terrifies investigators the most. Every time the car is found abandoned, it always disappears again before sunrise, and somehow, it always appears in another state, waiting for another passenger. This is the Unknown Files X, where real stories, dark mysteries, and hidden truths are told. Subscribe now and step deeper into the darkness.